the Seasons Trilogy, The Season of Twisted Paths, Sarah visits the estates of Reese's relatives, intriguing his cousins under different personas as she carries out her plan. She and Henny come to Cambridge, where Reese and Timothy went to university with their Kent cousins, who have an estate nearby.
There's no shortage of historic buildings in Cambridge. We're being location scouts again today, visiting some country towns and an area of outstanding natural beauty.
When we were in London, we could not find a location for the Bolt Hole, a small apartment in South London where Sarah's uncle Jack lives. In Book 2, she uses it as a base for her plots and schemes.
It's attached to a crescent of Georgian terraces, so we're visiting Cambridge and its famous Rose Crescent.
Let's see if it gives us the feeling of the London neighbourhood.
We also have to choose a church for a wedding in Cambridge. Reese is the best man for his cousin.
There were 16 Anglican churches in Cambridge in the 1850s. We want a smaller one for an intimate family wedding. Let's see what we can find. We've got our walking map. We're going to start at the top of Trinity Street, which becomes King's Parade, which then becomes Trumpington Street. Let's start with the medieval round church, which is mind-bogglingly old. It was founded in the 12th century, before the universities were here.
It's very cute, but it's too small for what we're looking for.
Heading south, there's a handsome church on the right-hand side. It's St John's College Chapel, but it's too new for us.
I'd love to see a wedding party come out of this magnificent doorway, but it's the entrance to St. John's College, not a church.
We're coming up on the entrance to Rose Crescent there on the left, tucked in between the flowers and the little statue. We're hoping that it will remind us of my fictional neighbourhood of Grove Crescent.
Grove Crescent was situated behind a curved street of modest businesses and shops, where the road split around a small oval-shaped park. The park was embraced by crescents of Georgian terrace houses, mirroring each other through the leaves. At the far end of each terrace, tacked on like an afterthought, was a small apartment tucked under a sloping roof. Sarah called it the Bolt Hole.
This is exactly the charming and intimate feel I want for the Grove Crescent neighbourhood. Rose Crescent brings us out into the market square, which has been the centre of the city since Saxon times. It's seen proclamations, celebrations, riots, whippings and beheadings, as well as a whole lot of trading. In the 1850s, it was being rebuilt after the Great Fire of 1849. Here's what's left of the Gothic water fountain. From the market, we come out into King's Parade, and what a sight it is. King's College Chapel, and other handsome university and college buildings. And surprise, surprise, here's another church.
Great St. Mary's Church was definitely here in the 1850s, undergoing restoration. It was built in the 15th century and boasts the oldest bell-ringing society in Britain. In fact, it's the home of the Cambridge quarters that almost deafened us in the bell tower of St. Martin-in-the-Fields.
King's College Chapel is too large for what we're looking for, but I had to bring Amy here just to see her jaw drop when we stepped inside.
And it did!
I first came here with my sister Meg, backpacking in the 1990s. I have always thought that the ceiling is what music would look like if it was made solid.
We've stepped off the main road to have a look at St. Bennett's, which is over 1,000 years old.
Then there's St. Baldolph, built in the 14th century and dedicated to the patron saint of travellers. You can't come to Cambridge without standing on the Silver Street Bridge. Looking south, we can see Laundress Green, where the washerwomen used to gather to do the college laundry, soaking it in the river and then laying it out to dry. Looking north, we get a view of the mathematical bridge. Amy is not too impressed.
Well, it's just straight, flat top. That's not that straight.
I haven't chosen which church I'm going to use yet. I think I'll make you read the books to find out. But it's been a good morning's work. Let's get some lunch.
All right.
The beech woods in the northern Chiltern Hills rang with the whack of axes, the grind of saws and the shouts of men as the horses dragged the logs through the trees with long chains. Phoenix was restless. All day he kept stopping to look around, feeling unsettled. He turned to his brother.
Something's coming. I have to look around.
Phoenix set off on one of the horses for the nearby down. When he emerged from the trees, he noticed a trail of thick white smoke rising from the top of a rounded hill nearby. He urged the old horse up the slope, his senses prickling. When they reached the summit, he noticed a girl dressed in a white shirt and dark skirt. Phoenix sparked up immediately. Here was a chance for a bit of sport, he thought.
Don't run off! Don't run off!
She didn't run off. Her words came floating on the wind like pieces of an old memory.
I see you, Phoenix Petulangro. I see you.
He knew who it was.
Sarah! Mia Sarah!
My house is burning, so is the street, so is the girl who I want to meet. It's not my house, and it's not the street. It is the girl who I want to meet.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la
country town is Windsor, where Reese and Timothy went to school. In the 1850s, Queen Victoria had renovated the castle and the town was having a revival.
Reese has received a summons to attend Queen Victoria at Windsor Castle. He travels down by train and dresses at the Castle Hotel before donning his warmest cloak to walk to the castle.
The towers that topped the grey stone walls and the yellow stone buildings that rose behind them were an impressive and intimidating sight. When he entered the upper ward through the double-towered Norman gate, Reese was much affected to think of his ancestor, the young Captain Reese Hunsford, riding through in 1386 in his Scarlet Horse Guards livery, about to make an offer for the hand of the orphaned Lady Violet. He had entered as a captain and left as a wealthy viscount. Reese was worried that he might do the opposite.
We're looking for the Theatre Royal, where the Hutton family are completing a triumphant tour of King Lear with a sellout performance. Leopold, Olivia, and Eliza, the first family of British theatre, were taking their bows on the stage of the Theatre Royal in Windsor. The audience was on its feet, and the clapping and cheering rang on and on. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert had stepped across the road from the castle and were seated in pride of place at the back of the auditorium. Leopold gave one last deep bow in their direction, followed by the rest of the company.
We ran into Patrick, the King's gatekeeper. He didn't want to be videoed, but he told us a little bit about the history of the buildings around the King's Gate.
That building over there is called the J-Flex, and that there was the royal waiting room. Okay, and it was built for Prince Albert and Queen Victoria in 1851, when the railway station, that was built by Brunel. Okay, he was a massive British engineer. Built bridges all around the country, built massive ships. If you look all the way down here, yeah, that school there, St George's School, was built for the cloisters for the Royal Chapel in Windsor Castle. So all the choir boys used to go to that school there. And that's the history of this area, okay?
We'd love to take you inside Windsor Castle for a tour.
But unfortunately, we're going to Harry Potter World.
Sorry, my description will have to do. Let's hope it does it justice.